One of my favorite things to do is break video games. It's always really fun, and especially in games like Portal, you can just crack them wide open. However, today I'll be harassing a different video game. Now don't get me wrong, this is one of my favorite Zelda games after Breath of the Wild and Ocarina of Time, but it's kind of breakable. Fairly early on, there's a really interesting glitch that allows you to get out of bounds in Hyrule Castle, and from here you can go to any dungeon or any house or cave, which allows you to actually complete the game really fast since Hyrule Castle and the final room are actually pretty close to each other. However, I noticed that there's also a cave in Kakariko Village somewhat nearby, and I decided to see how far I could get while the world was still rainy. There are tons of interesting bugs, and I really enjoyed this. This is also my fourth time doing this. The second time I got all the way to the end of the first dungeon, but then it turns out that I wasn't recording. So, yes. I'm also terrible at this game, so I'll be making heavy use of save states in my emulator. I'll also be using speed up, which you just saw there, to skip some of the dialogue, which I don't really care about. I've played this game too many times to care. So the setup for this glitch is really interesting. First, you have to get to a specific place in Hyrule Castle, where you'll see in a second, without taking any damage. Once you get inside of Hyrule Castle, you have to find one of the couple ledges in the first room, and save and quit while jumping off of one of them. I don't know how people find glitches like this. Anyways, I save and quit here, and I'll continue once it gets interesting again. Are still the same here. You can't take any damage. However, this time you'll be going to a different place in Hyrule Castle. Once you get inside of this room, you can throw a jar to just gain access to the wall. You then have to anger this guard so that he'll hurt you and give you knockback, pushing you into the wall. I really don't know why this happens. Maybe jumping off the ledge was setting up something in memory to do this? I don't know. I found out about this glitch years ago. It's always fascinated me. But you're still on the upper level, so you could jump down into this hallway right now if you wanted to, but there's no point in doing so. It's actually really interesting to explore here and break areas with the wrong tile sets, and I don't know, it's fun to explore, but make heavy use of save states while doing so because it's kind of annoying. Here I believe I found Zelda. This is after the you get the Master Sword and climb Agneton's Tower, so not while it's still rainy. Sequence breaking is pretty easy to do with this, as mentioned earlier. And soon, we will be at our destination. You may recognize this cave, but the tile set's broken, and the water's broken, and also I broke something, I don't know how. I had to load a save state from a previous time where I had gotten into this cave, from my third playthrough instead of my fourth. But it's really weird to see it with the castle tile set, and like apart from the broken palette, it's just how well it works. But yeah, that happens, and now I'm stuck on the wall, so I have to load the save state here. This game is so silly. save state has now been loaded. I believe this is the ice dungeon in the Dark World, in the Dark Lake Hylia. But now we're at the cave with the ice tile set. The water looks normal, probably because the water is supposed to be with this palette. And I can just walk out of the door, but first I walk over here. Don't know why. But when I do walk out the door, I go back in. This is how the cave should look. But I go back out, and we're in Kakariko Village while it's still raining. All of the NPCs, for example, the guy selling the jar, they're gone. Anyways, here I'm making my way to Link's house, which is really broken, as you'll see. So first I get teleported off screen, and I'm behind the tree, but I'm not actually behind the tree, I'm like somewhere else, but the screen isn't scrolls right. I also don't have a shadow, and there are invisible walls everywhere. But then I do, yeah, now I am here. I can't throw the bush is invisible. I don't know if I did it, I don't think I did it here, but, oh yeah, also that happens. Something in the game is really screwed up right now. I don't know what. Oh, and then this happens when I try to transition rooms. This is why you should make heavy use of save states. Yeah. So now I'm taking the long way to the first dungeon, all the way around the overworld. Yeah. So here we are at the entrance to the first dungeon, well, the area around the entrance to the first dungeon, and thus begins the Eastern Palace. I cut out a lot of the gameplay here since, like, I just played it normally, so here are just the highlights. I don't know. I thought that, I don't know. I hate these enemies. These guys are funny. I don't understand them. Like, I seriously do not understand them. You can't hit the skulls, and they just fly away, and I just want to know why. Here I did a cool swordsman. This is probably my favorite Zelda boss. I did a satisfying edit of all of their deaths. And I have now completed the Eastern Palace. Yay. It went exactly as it normally did. There was not a single change, other than the fact that I had one heart lower than I could have because of the sanctuary. Now here, the Link's house is the only way to get to the Eastern Palace, I believe. Because that's the only way to get to this one. Oh, here I get the book. The book is interesting. I spent ages trying to do this. So I put it at 20 times speed. And it was not fun in the slightest. So eventually I just ran all the way back around Hyrule. The gravestones were weird, and they were also completely broken from the first time, or my third playthrough. But I managed to get out by approaching Link's house from the other side. Interestingly, this heart piece was broken. I don't know why. It's probably related to the reason why there are no enemies or NPCs. It's just missing. Maybe there's some sort of override for what entities can be around when it's raining. But here I can make my way to the desert. It's really weird to see when it's raining. And it's also nice not having those obnoxious vultures everywhere. And those weird sand dudes. I can just walk across. But here it turns out the book was useless because the things that slide around are also gone. Thus begins the Desert Palace. Again, just the highlights. Although, for the boss, I edited it. Oh, this heart piece was also broken. For the boss, I just did all of my deaths since I died a lot. I didn't get it on the first try like I did the Armos Knights. I hate these tiles. I don't understand these tiles. Well, I do. I don't understand why they have to exist though. And just I hate these tiles. Um, this wall has always amused me. It just moves. The tile set's clearly broken before it moves. Oh yeah, so here are all of my deaths. I died a lot. I'm not good at this boss, I don't like it. You can see me loading save states every time I die. I'm so bad at this game, but eventually I did beat it. And I got the heart piece, and the pendant fell right in my hand. And that concludes the Desert Palace. There's this weird invisible enemy here. I don't know if this is a bug or I think this is a normal thing, but the sprite's just missing. I don't know why. Here I tried to get the race heart piece, where you have to go through the hedge maze fast. Surprise, surprise, the NPC and the heart piece were gone. Who could have seen that coming? But now I believe I make my way to the Lost Woods. It looks cool when it's thundery, and I get this heart piece. I think this one's normal because it's in a separate area from all of the broken areas. Definition of foreshadowing, you will understand later. Here I get another heart piece. Yeah. Sanctuary is still normal, I get the heart from it. It's weird to see Zelda not in it. But now I make my way to the third dungeon, the Tower of Hera. I don't know. Oh, I also go to Zora's River. Zora's River is completely broken. First off, it's not rainy. Don't know what's up with that. Maybe it's in the same area as the dungeons. There were also these weird enemies, and what you can see one of them shooting a projectile down, right at the beginning. Those actually do hurt you. Also, King Zora was gone, so I threw a bomb because I thought it was funny. It's surprising how much this breaks. I was expecting it to be just the normal game, but it raining. So here I am in these caves, found the old man. Death Mountain is broken. I think that maybe they have a parallax layer. Oh, Dark World's also broken. Maybe I won't get to talk about parallax layers. I didn't remember that heart being there. Also, there's some enemy using Bully's Friends sprites. I don't know. But anyway, I believe the parallax layer is the same that's being used for the rain, but Death Mountain is just overriding it, and that's also like with the blend layers. I don't know, it's just a theory. And thus begins the third dungeon, Tower of Hera. I like this one. I like the blocks that you can move up and down. The colored ones. More of these obnoxious styles. Here they just absolutely demolished me. I'm so bad at this game. I'm good at the puzzles. Here I die to one of the stupid skeletons. I like these guys. It's fun knocking them into the bottomless pit. Here I get the Moon Pearl, which will be very useful for totally making the next episode of this series, as I will definitely do. This boss I died a lot too, but I didn't include all of that. I just showed it dying. And I get the pendant, and oh, I forgot to edit out the awkward 10 seconds here. Yeah, there's supposed to be music playing. I didn't include the music. So So now we do that. We go to the Lost Woods to get the Master Sword. Now you go through this cave. Nice edit there, by the way. I make my way. Anyways, thanks for watching. There will not be a next episode since you need the Master Sword to progress. I can't get out of bounds again because of how specific it is. And thank you for watching. Might make another link to the past video, I don't know.